Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome inside the Jack Gatecliff Arena, home of the 2015 President's Cup Senior B Lacrosse Tournament Championship of Canada. This is game number 2 of day number 3 here at the Jack, and it's featuring the Onondaga Redhawks, who are the previous tournament champions, so they come here to defend the title, and they're taking on the Nova Scotia Privateers, who return to the tournament for the first time in quite some time. So this game is going to be an interesting one because it's the Onondaga Redhawks who need to win as they came off a tough loss yesterday. As we take a look at the tournament standings in the Rex Dimers division, as we see Rocky View currently ahead of the standings with 2 wins and a loss as they just came off the floor. Snake Island's in second, and then of course there's lots of more lacrosse to come, but we have this game ahead of us right now between Onondaga and Nova Scotia, which will determine all our standings and figure out what's going on in this division as we get set to call game number 2 of day number 3 here at the Jack. Today's officials, we'll take a look. We have Andrew Ecclestone on the floor along with Craig Baldridge. Maurice Getz is the standby official. He's in the box along with our timekeepers, who are John Zabo doing the clock, and Jeremy Bailey will be our 30-second clock operator. I'm Spencer Tangway. We're set to go here as Andrew Ecclestone puts the ball between the 2 players. It's Jamie Dunbar for Nova Scotia going against the very talented Jerome Thompson. We're underway here as Onondaga gets the opening face-off. Onondaga wearing their white sweaters with the red shoulder caps, and Nova Scotia in the dark blue with light blue and white trim along the side. And there's our first goal of the game. It's going to Onondaga. A great shot from Thompson. And to start the ball game, what a way to start. Jerome Thompson makes it 1-0 Onondaga just 23 seconds in. So as we take another look at Thompson. He's number 22 for Onondaga. A long outside shot. Beats the starting goaltender, Matt Cote, for Nova Scotia. Starting a goal at the other end for Onondaga is number 30. That's Ross Bucktooth. So here comes Onondaga with the early 1-0 lead. Thompson looking on the other side. He wants it back. And he gets it. Thompson up top. Down low it goes. That's number 11, Creek Hathers. Onondaga now being pressured from the Nova Scotia defense. Tries to cut in the middle. The shot not there as the Privateers defense gets it. And out comes Nova Scotia. Here's number 97, KJ McNeil. Ball's lost, and number 96 for Onondaga. That's Bill O'Brien. O'Brien will just dish it up to number 16. That's Neil Powless. Powless goes far side. Onondaga trying to stretch that lead as Thompson misses a pass. 13 on the shot clock. Thompson runs up on a moving pick. No call, a nice save by Cote as he goes down to close the 5-hole. Stretch pass up to the near bench side for Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia has a few fans here that made the trip, supporting the Privateers and trying to get them a victory. They fell to St. Catharines in a great crowd in the opening day of the tournament. 16-7 the final score there. They trail 1-0 here as as Nova Scotia tried to bury and make it 1-1. We're just almost 2 minutes in as Onondaga comes up the floor, crosses half, and goes to the near side. Here's Wade Bucktooth. Bucktooth throws it up to the center for Hunter Hemlock. Hemlock looking for help. He has Cathers. The shot goes wide and it'll bounce off the active boards all the way down. Here comes Bucktooth, the goaltender. With 2 on the shot clock, he'll just send it all the way down. And it'll be Nova Scotia ball. Nova Scotia had a great game yesterday afternoon with Jamie Dunbar, their captain, number 13, and Brandon Sanderson being honorable mentions, both stars of the game. Sanderson had 3 goals and 3 assists, I believe, with Dunbar having 2 and maybe 3 assists as well. Both players were huge for Nova Scotia yesterday and, like we said, got stars of the game as Onondaga has a breakaway. The shot, though, turned aside by Cote. The rebound right out front is a loose ball battle. Here's Onondaga's number 7, Derek Bennett. Bennett right in there. A few other players, as I believe Nova Scotia is going to come up with it, as it's a still loose ball. Cote comes out. That's 31 blue. the goaltender, wearing the red helmet, as Nova Scotia's Jamie Dunbar will slowly bring it up the floor. Here's Dunbar. He goes to the far side. The shot from Nova Scotia does tip off Bucktooth, and it goes back right in front of the Nova Scotia bench. Dunbar comes up with it. Dunbar goes down low. That's Sanderson. Sanderson a shot. Kicked away. Right back to him, though. Ball's right on the crease. Big hit from Onondaga. Loose ball picked up from 96. That's Bill O'Brien. O'Brien outmuscles the Nova Scotia defender, and they come up the floor. Here's Onondaga. That's Adam Yee. Yee just sends it low and goes for a change. Ball's up top with number 16. That's Neil Paulus. Paulus, the pass, couldn't connect. Onondaga needs a shot. 8 on the shot clock. Ball's on the near side. Tries to go to the far side. The shot turned aside by the right shoulder. Good save. Rebound. Also saved. And Cote starting to feel like he's playing a great game so far. Showing a lot of confidence between the pipes in a 1-0 game to the Onondaga Redhawks. Onondaga, of course, is the 2014 tournament champions. So they come in defending the title. And as we've said a few times in the tournament, it's the hardest thing to do, defend a championship. As they're 1-1 so far in round robin play. Last game of the tournament as Cote comes out for Nova Scotia to get that ball. No reset is called as the timekeepers reset the 30-second clock when they shouldn't have. So with 15:33 to go, Onondaga's ball at half. And it's Brett Bucktooth. He goes to the near side. Long shot fake back up to Brett Bucktooth. Bucktooth down low to the far side. Good pick and good offensive movement here for Onondaga. Here's Hemlock. Hemlock up to Bucktooth. To the near side. Finds Hemlock. The shot not working as it gets tipped away by a defender. Paulus goes to the far side. Not a chance there as it's not on goal. So a good defensive effort from Nova Scotia to send Onondaga back to the bench with no shot on goal. Here comes Dominic Pesic. Ian McShane, he wears 32. Always usually plays with Pesic, Sanderson, and Dunbar. But there's Bobby Green. Pesic now right in that was Sanderson. Sanderson over to Bobby Green. 7 on the shot clock. They find Ian McShane, but they can't connect. Loose ball right in front of the goaltender, Bucktooth, and it's easily slowed down by Onondaga as they go for a full change. Onondaga is a team that likes to put the game away early. It tries to score, but yesterday they were down to St. Catharines by a score of 6-0 at a point before they finally put one past Grant Crowley. So this is interesting to see if Onondaga can come back as Nova Scotia gets called for having too many men on the floor. Onondaga can capitalize on this error from the Nova Scotia bench. Nova Scotia, like I mentioned, coming with a few fans, sitting right behind their bench, supporting their blue and white. Here's Onondaga. Ball battle in the corner. Brett Bucktooth comes up with it. Bucktooth, the captain for the Onondaga Redhawks, and they score. A nice shot coming from number 23, Hunter Hemlock. Hemlock from Bucktooth.
23, 66, 76.
As they add an assist as well to number 76, Lee Nanticoke. But as we take another look at the great movement in the corner as Bucktooth comes away from it, spins away from the defender, and Hunter Hemlock just right in his wheelhouse takes a long outside shot to give Onondaga a 2-0 lead just 6 minutes and 7 seconds in. So we'll see if Nova Scotia can return the favor and score to make it a 2-1 game. Here's Dominic Pesic. Up top, the long shot by Tickmarsh. Unsuccessful. Ball battle right in front of the Nova Scotia bench. They're trying to corral it and get a full reset, but Onondaga gets it. It goes the other way in a 2-on-1. Here's the Redhawks. The shot, no good as we thought. I thought they were going to call he stepped in the crease, but the referee says play on as Nova Scotia has the ball. Here's the Privateers now on offense as they go to the bench side. Pesic. He goes to Ian McShane. McShane wearing number 32. Pesic, of course, has that red head on his stick, so you'll know that's Dominic Pesic when you see the red head. 12:50 to go in the opening period of play here in day number 3, game 2. Here's Onondaga. They go to the near side, down low in the corner. Good ball movement. Cree Cathers, number 11, really a part of this offense so far throughout today's game. Likes to swing the ball from east to west, and they've been really doing a great job at opening up the lanes up top, allowing some outside shots. That's a good play by Bill O'Brien. O'Brien wearing 76 tonight. Excuse me, that's Lee Nanticoke. As Brett Bucktooth comes with it. Bucktooth goes to the far side. 22, the long shot. Nice save by Cote as he spins around to clear it from his crease. Nova Scotia comes up the bench side as they just give it up and go for a full change. Privateers looking to get right back in this game by getting their first one as Ian McShane crosses center and gives it to Dominic Pesic. Pesic goes down low, tries to find Ian McShane in the back flip, doesn't work as Onondaga has the ball now coming up their bench side. Here comes Bill O'Brien, 96. Bill O'Brien, oh, nice save by Cote as he slides across from his left to his right. 25 on the shot clock, 2-0 our score with 11:30 remaining in the opening period. Nova Scotia's Brandon Sanderson, wearing number 18, comes over the halfway point. Sanderson looking for some movement, looks for the outside shot, hits the Onondaga goaltender right in the Red Hawk logo. Here comes the Red Hawks, coming in fast right off the bench. Onondaga waiting for some time as the defense of Nova Scotia still not on the floor fully. As here comes the Privateers, though, fast. Good way to pick up that ball off the Onondaga offense, sorry. 10:45 to go. Ian McShane sends it down low to the corner as Dominic Pesic comes in. Dominic Pesic likes to shoot. There's a shot just off the back wall. Stays in the mesh, so we'll get a whistle. But the whistle is a delayed penalty coming from the back official. That's Craig Baldridge. And as Baldridge reports the penalty, Ecclestone, the other official, will blow a official's timeout to let the goalies get some water. On this very hot Wednesday, temperatures already reached over 30 degrees here in St. Catharines. So Onondaga gets the first penalty of the game going to Dave Stout. It's a slashing minor with 10:36 to go, sending Nova Scotia to the first power play, where we should see Brandon Sanderson, Pesic for sure. We might even get a look at a couple players that have been rotating. Jamie Dunbar comes on the power play often. Chetna Consenzi. See, there's 3 players right there that you'll never see off the floor, usually on the power play, so all 3 of those should be on the floor. As Sanderson winds up for a long shot. Turned aside by Bucktooth. Full 30-second clock comes back out to Brandon Sanderson. Sanderson over to Jamie Dunbar down low. Tickmarsh back up to Dunbar to Sanderson, who's up high. Sanderson has Tickmarsh down low, doesn't use him. Goes to Dunbar as Bucktooth comes out to stop his blast. Full 30 once again. Sanderson slows down the group as we pass the halfway mark of the first period. Nice pass to Tickmarsh, but he wasn't there to corral it. Long lob over the defense as Onondaga comes for the breakaway, and he misses wide. That ball bounces all the way back, but it will be an over and back violation. As Onondaga's in the box for 2. 24 for Nova Scotia battling. That is Andrew McNeil. McNeil's got it. He flips it to Brandon Sanderson, who slows everything down and allowing the power play to come out. Sanderson to his right. They'll play catch and they'll go down low. Tickmarsh, he goes up top. Straight across the top, east-west is Dominic Pesic. Long shot, Sanderson, good save by Bucktooth to get his leg out there and turn to the side. Onondaga, a miscommunication. That pass goes straight into the Red Hawk bench, as that clearly soared over the head of number 6 for Onondaga, who's Adam Yee. Yee was the intended receiver of that pass, but good 5 or 6 feet over his head and almost hit the coaching staff. 9:05 to go, 25 on the power. Behind the back pass is unsuccessful, and here comes Onondaga in their own end, but another too many men call. That's our first one of the game, but another violation against Onondaga. They've had an over and back, a couple moving picks, interference, a lot of possession calls that are unforced are going in the favor of Nova Scotia with 17 remaining on this power play. Here's Sanderson. He's played the full 2 minutes power play. Down low to Tickmarsh, doesn't connect. They've been trying that a few times in this power play. As Nova Scotia trips Adam Yee from the ball. Dunbar. As you hear, that's Matt Cote, the goaltender, banging his stick on his pads to inform everybody that the Onondaga players' penalty has expired, so we're playing 5-on-5. Ecclestone calls Nova Scotia for being in the crease as Onondaga gets the ball at the blue line. Here's Hunter Hemlock. He's had a blast from outside to make it 2-0. Thompson. He goes to Bucktooth up top. A long shot, turned aside by Cote, but it goes in off his arm. Just like that, Onondaga gets out of the box, and their first time on the offensive situation in the first time they've had an offensive situation since that penalty, they capitalize and make it a 3-0 game. Something that I kind of expected to come tonight as we take a look at this goal, as Cote made the save, but it goes off his arm and in. So an unfortunate break for Nova Scotia. But we play on here as there's a far side battle along the boards right in front of the bench of the Privateers. Comes out with it as the Onondaga Redhawks. 7:50 to go in the opening frame. 3-0 your score. Here from the Jack. Back up top. That's Nantakoki, goes to the far side. Cote almost made the save, but I think the shot just went a little wide. Battle in the corner. The Onondaga player, that's Jerome Thompson. Thompson, he's trying to get back in it. He usually takes all the draws for Onondaga. As a delayed penalty, I believe it's going to be a stick infraction. I'm assuming slashing. As Thompson will go to the bench, and they'll get a fresh 30 seconds with 15 remaining on it. Cote sliding across as he expected the shot. 6-on-5 as the goaltender's out for the delayed penalty. Good save by Cote, kicks it out of play. But we'll get the whistle for the penalty coming against the Nova Scotia Privateers for slash. And it's going to be Andrew McNeil, I believe. Nope, sorry, he's going to head off. The player going to the box is Nova Scotia's number 43. That's Nick Mulligan. So Mulligan sits down for slashing as we start the power play for Onondaga. Very offensive power play. All these players like to shoot the ball. There's not just one shooter. Hunter Hemlock has a great shot, as we already saw once. He scored, and expect for him to shoot again as they just try to go far side across the crease, but that misses wide and goes off the back glass. There's team captain. Nova Scotia picks off that pass, and here's number 52 for the Privateers. That's Stu Micheloni. Ball's in the near far side corner. Onondaga pressuring their penalty kill as they will kill 1:23 more on the minor to Mulligan. Nova Scotia tried to cut down the middle. Ball goes to the far side, and they continue to kill this penalty. Double team now. Onondaga sending two guys in there. Adam Yee is the predominant player, and Yee comes out with the ball, and he's got a break. Adam Yee for Onondaga fakes. What a save by Cote as he turns him aside. Yee had about 3 or 4 seconds to make a move, but Matt Cote standing big to keep it a 3-goal game. Onondaga doing a great job of pressuring this penalty kill as they almost put him over and back. Ian McShane wants it as he's out at the blue line. Good call. They give it right to Adam Yee as they miss this play. McNeil, he was wide open in the middle. Bad communication from Onondaga to leave Andrew McNeil wide open like that. But he steps in the crease. So Onondaga getting lucky as Hemlock dishes off. Long shot turned aside by Matt Cote. Here comes a break now. Everybody's sleeping on the Onondaga defense side, but they go over and back anyway, so it's Onondaga ball. 5:18 remaining in the first period of play here in day number 3, game 2. It's the Nova Scotia Privateers in blue taking on the Onondaga Redhawks, who are white. 10 seconds remaining to the minor, assessed to Mulligan. 20 on the shot. There's a shot coming from team captain for Onondaga. 15 seconds, but they get a reset. All even now as Mulligan's out of the box. Ball's up top. There's Hunter Hemlock. He beats his man. Tries an outside shot. Scores. Onondaga's Hunter Hemlock beats Matt Cote on the 5-hole shot from way outside to make
23,
it a 4-0
16,
game.
19.
Hunter Hemlock, back-to-back goals now for Onondaga. As we'll watch, just the best part of this goal was his actual pick right here. A little fake, beats his man, and he beats Matt Cote on the 5-hole. As the opening face-off for that next play is assessed a infraction to Jamie Dunbar for Nova Scotia, so it's Onondaga ball, but they can't capitalize as they have a turnover. 17 seconds on the shot clock, and Nova Scotia crosses half. Tickmarsh wears number 90. Sends it bounce pass east-west to Dominic Pesic, who goes low. Pesic rolls, wants it, the shot. Turned aside as Onondaga almost went back in, but the ref says it's unintentional. Here's Onondaga. Gets called for having too many men on the floor by the back official, which is rare in lacrosse to see the back official be calling too many men, with Craig Baldridge, who was right at the blue line, had a good look at it, but he let them play on. Sanderson now. Comes near side, just out front of the Onondaga bench, goes low with it. Looking for an open man. He finds one in the middle, and that's Jamie Dunbar. The shot way wide. Goes to Ian McShane. Another shot off the post. As Nova Scotia's goaltender, Matt Cote, will have to come out and collect it, and he'll just flip it up. 25 on the shot clock, 3 minutes, 40 seconds to play here in the opening period. 4-0 on the JVI Sports Network. It's Onondaga ahead in the final game of their round-robin play. Here's Sanderson. Sanderson, a long shot right into the stick of Bucktooth. A battle now right in front of the Onondaga bench, and the Ecclestone will just call it and say it's Onondaga's ball as a minor interference infraction is called against Sanderson. Very fast-paced game, and the time seems to be flying here as the Onondaga Redhawks tried to go top left once again. A lot of outside shooting for the Onondaga team so far, but a nice, great scoring chance there is turned aside. Dunbar, long stretch pass to Pesic, who's running off the bench. Pesic cuts to the middle. Good save by Bucktooth to keep it a 4-0 game. 2:45 to go. Tickmarsh is being told by his bench to keep going as Ian McShane collects it in the middle. McShane loses it from a good stick check from 15, Grant Bucktooth of the Redhawks. Pass down low to McShane. McShane tries. He hits the post, but he steps in the crease before he could get a scoring chance. Andrew McNeil comes down and collects the errant pass from Onondaga in his own end. So 2:20 to play. Andrew McNeil flips it and gets off. And here comes Nova Scotia once again trying to get a goal and get this team on the board. And they'll do so with Brandon Sanderson coming to the near side. Sanderson gets a pick from his teammate but doesn't use him. A good effort, solo effort there, but just a shot. And Onondaga's number 24, Dave Stout, will pick it up, and he'll just relay it up to number 19. 19, of course, is Wade Bucktooth. Bucktooth. Up top, they go east-west. Bucktooth with a shot. Oh, I believe it went off the butt end of Cote's stick and then off the post. So a good save. As Nova Scotia trying to pressure a pass that wasn't there. They'll just give it to Sanderson. Excuse me, that's Pesic with the redhead, who then goes down low. A big hit from behind. And Nova Scotia's player, number 42, I believe, or 43, I should say, Nick Mulligan, is coming right in to defend. As we'll find out who's down on the ground for Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia's bench screaming they want a 5 assessed against Onondaga's number 7, Derek Bennett. We take another look. Watch right in the bottom right of your screen. Right there, number 7 is the penalty, is the player assessed for Onondaga. And he's getting a high sticking penalty. A 5-minute major high sticking penalty. So a 5-minute major to Bennett, which will give the Nova Scotia Privateers a 5-minute power play, something they need to really get this offense going, as today's been a very exciting day in the world of lacrosse, as John Tavares, the Buffalo Bandit legend, has announced his retirement, but will be staying on with the Bandits as a team assistant coach. You can find that video and more on our Twitter page at @JVI Video. Also, you can tweet us your 3 stars of this game. Find out all that and more on @JVI Video on Twitter as Onondaga comes down, tries a break. But Thompson couldn't beat Cotes. He couldn't even get it on the net with 50 to go in this first period. Nova Scotia's pass goes right off the timekeeper's glass and into the middle of the floor. Here's Hunter Hemlock. Hemlock on his wrong side, needs to dish it off and go to his correct side. Hemlock still waiting to try to get to the other side of the floor, but they'll kill this penalty. There he goes to his right side, trying to kill off the remaining 23 seconds of this first period. Hemlock's being double teamed, but he gets through it and he stays on the near side wall. Hemlock tried to get through the middle, only 8 seconds on the clock. Nova Scotia will push it up the floor a little bit, but they don't seem to be rushing in any sort. 1 second, the time will expire. The horn sounds, and the score at the end of the first period is the Onondaga Redhawks 4 and Nova Scotia 0. So Onondaga will be shorthanded for another 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And they announce the shots on goal are in favor of the Onondaga Redhawks, but not by much. 9-8 the shot count. As teams will head off and regroup, try to stay cool. We'll have live second period action right here on the JVI Sports Network. You're watching the 2015 President's Cup right here from the Jack. Be sure to tweet us who you think will be the 3 stars of this one between Onondaga and Nova Scotia. Who do you think is going to be the first star, second star, and the third star of today's game? Be sure to tweet us at JVI Video, where we just posted a huge link coming from the National Lacrosse League this morning. John Tavares, the NLL All-Star and legend, and a huge supporter for the game of lacrosse, has officially retired. We have posted that video on our Twitter at JVI. We'll take a look at the tournament standings in the Rex Dimers division. Rocky View, of course, who just got off the floor with a big overtime victory, improves to 2-1. Nanaimo and Six Nations, they'll play this afternoon at 5 o'clock, and we'll figure out what's going to happen between these two teams as they get set for our second period right here at the Jack as all the teams make their way onto the floor. The intermission is officially over. We're almost set for second period action as we see the Nova Scotia Privateers coming on the floor looking a little bit defeated as they've yet to put a goal past Ross Bucktooth, who stands at the other net. Stands in another net, tall for Onondaga. Onondaga, of course, coming as the tournament champions from the Can-Am League, as Nova Scotia represents Nova Scotia, obviously. Our Ontario champions this year were Six Nations. Rocky View comes from Calgary. A lot of teams crossing the border for this tournament, and last game we had a weird situation where a player for Snake Island couldn't actually make it to the game as he was having border issues. So that's one thing teams have to battle, not to mention this heat that's inside the Jack Gatecliff Arena. We've had heat all week long, really, with temperatures between the 25 to 35 degree mark. We're currently sitting right around 31, 32 degrees outside with a lot of humidity, but teams drinking tons of water, and each team has two or three fans on their bench. So we'll see how they deal with that as we get set to play the second period, as the fans actually still making their way in from the air-conditioned lobby here at the Jack Gatecliff. And it's not an air conditioner, it's like a freezer. You go inside there and you could really just start putting eggs, put milk. You got a nice fridge right there. But fans use it to cool off as Thompson and Dunbar get set to take the draw. Thompson, one of the best face-offs artists we have at the tournament, probably one of the best in the leagues in Senior B lacrosse, as he wins another one. Thompson pulls it to his front of the bench as Andrew McNeil flips it back for Nova Scotia as he picks up that loose ball battle. Dunbar, number 13, will collect it for Nova Scotia. He's team captain and was also player of the game yesterday after recording 3 goals and 3 assists, along with his teammate, Brandon Sanderson. So with 10 on the shot clock, it's Dunbar. Dunbar goes to Pesic up top, who just dishes off to the trailing Tickmarsh. Sanderson wants a shot, takes it. And that's Roz Bucktooth making the save as he bounces one up to their near side bench. Lee Nanticoke. He fights off the Nova Scotia defender. Reminder that Nanaimo game will be played right here at the Jack against Six Nations. That game gets underway at 5 o'clock this afternoon. If there's any delays or anything, we'll be sure to tweet about it, that JVI video. So that'll be the battle of the men, as here comes Nova Scotia trying to get their first shot of the first goal of the second period, I should say, rather. Battle along the near side. The ball squeaks out. And Onondaga coming up with it is Lee Nanticoke. Nanticoke wants a pass, but Nova Scotia's defense is giving him the whole middle. Hunter Hemlock. He has 2 tonight. Hemlock goes down low to team captain. Team captain for the Onondaga Redhawks is Brett Bucktooth, 66. Nova Scotia now still on a 5-minute power play that was assessed in the first period. They have 1:45 left as Onondaga's number 7, that's Derek Bennett, was in the box. 5 minutes for boarding. Pass attempt picked off by Onondaga. They come down in the penalty kill now is Brett Bucktooth. Bucktooth just going to run it in. Oh, good play, but they're going to be called for a penalty. And I believe it's going to be Dunbar. It is going to be Dunbar who will be heading off as Andrew Ecclestone has his hand up for a delayed penalty. 1:20 left on this kill for Onondaga. Bucktooth, the goaltender, comes out to the blue line waiting, as he does not want to go on the bench to start the 30-second clock. Good pickup and a great move by Onondaga. Hemlock fakes the shot, as they will probably kill this whole minute, as it's number 16 now for Onondaga. That's Neil Powless. Powless running to the middle. He wants to shoot and he scores! Neil Powless, instead of pulling it out, he's going to do it all himself. Little dipsy doodle play.
16, 11, 23.
To make it a 5-0 game, and they will remain shorthanded as Dunbar's penalty gets wiped out.
Penalty was 13 black hold. It's washed out.
What a play as we take a look at it. Look at the nifty play. Instead of pulling it out, he just goes right to the middle. Neil Powless right around 1, 2, and he beats Matt Cote for 3. So before we get underway again, Cote goes to the bench for a quick drink and a little repair job on his equipment, I believe. He's standing there like he's got his right leg over the door. Maybe a little tape for his feet. And that's what it will be, as the referee, Craig Baldridge, is helping him out as well. So 2 minutes and 53 seconds into the second period. It's 5-0 for the Onondaga Redhawks. As Thompson wins another one. He wins that one to himself, but he tries to flip it up. Can't connect with himself, though, as a big hit from number 7 for Nova Scotia. That's Gavin Abramson. Abramson with a big hit, and Nova Scotia gets it and will start up. McShane, a little flip pass through Dominic Pesic. McShane will go down to the corner, and he'll just give it up to Brandon Sanderson. Sanderson likes to play the top of that offense. A shot doesn't even get off as Onondaga's defense sends him to the floor. 10 seconds remaining on the 5-minute to Bennett. Here's Onondaga now. That's Adam Yee. They'll hold in, wait for their assessed player out of the box. That's Derek Bennett to come out. We're playing 5-on-5 with 16:15 to go. Bucktooth sends it low to Simpson, number 5. Simpson dishes it off. Bucktooth gets it back. Tries to go far side, misses. Nanticoke down low to Brett Bucktooth. Nanticoke wants it back in the middle. He's wide open. He gets it, but a big stop by Cote before Nanticoke reaches in the crease. Cote is a goaltender that, like I said, he likes to make those interesting saves. Sliding across, robbing players with those arm swings. And he made one there, but a crease call would have taken away the goal anyways. So 17 on the shot clock. Nova Scotia comes in, scores. Nova Scotia's number 32, Ian McShane, with a beauty over the shoulder of Bucktooth. And after the first goal, we might
32-29-16.
We might see a little shakeup from the Nova Scotia bench. Try to get another one quickly as they made it a 5-1 game off this beauty from Ian McShane. McShane playing down low, cuts to the middle as we'll see him come in here. Right over the shoulder and beats Bucktooth, but it's Onondaga the other way and they score. Talk about taking the sails right out of that ship. Onondaga, just about 5 seconds later, makes it a 6-1 game with a goal coming from number 22 for the Red Hawks. That's Thompson. Right off the face-off, Thompson to Thompson. It's one of those things where it's hard for a goaltender and it's hard for a team to let one in just 5 or 6 seconds after you score your first goal. Dunbar passes it from the back of his stick across the floor, east-west, off the wall. They'll pick it up and just send it back to their own bench so they can get a full change. Delayed penalty coming. Onondaga is going to be getting, I believe, a slash. As behind the play, there was no need for that slash from Onondaga. 5 on the shot clock. 13, that's Dunbar. Flip behind the back pass. The shot goes well wide as Sanderson soars it right of the net. And it is a slash. And the penalty will be assessed against number 96, Bill O'Brien. So O'Brien will sit down as we have 15 minutes remaining in the second period. 6-1 our score in favor of the Onondaga Red Hawks. As we just hear now, the public address announcer Rod Mahood catching up on all the goals, announcing the 6th Onondaga goal. As like I said, that goal Thompson from Thompson, if we take a look at the Onondaga Red Hawks roster, you have a lot of similar names and brothers on this team. We have a lot of Bucktooths, Thompsons, Powlis's. So you might get that often, a Powlis from Powlis goal or a Thompson from Thompson, like Onondaga's 6th. Here we go with Onondaga trying to kill off this penalty once again. They already killed off a full 5-minute, and they have a break. Onondaga, big stop by Matt Cote as Brett Bucktooth slid to the floor. Excuse me, for Onondaga on that break, that was number 26. That's Trevor Clark. Clark slid down as he tried to beat Cote on the break, but there's Dominic Pesic now with it up top for Nova Scotia the other way. Shot off the back glass. Cote will have to come all the way out to the blue circle in his own end to collect that ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock on their second power play of the game. The penalty was a 2-minute minor for slashing. Shot off the glass, goes out of play right under the press box here at the Jack Gatecliff rink. 13:55 to go in the second period. Onondaga here now trying to kill off the penalty. That's Lee Nanticoke. Nanticoke just dishes it off and the ball will go up top. That's Neil Powlis. Powlis to the far side. Powlis being held up there by the defense from Nova Scotia. Ball squeaks out, but Powell is trying to get in it. Can't pick it up, and now it's a one-on-one. Nova Scotia doing the right thing. That's number 52, Stu Micheloni, to pull it out and allow the power play to come out. Power play for Nova Scotia. 20 seconds remaining to the penalty. 13:20 to go. Dominic Pesic, near side to Dunbar. Dunbar goes to Sanderson. Sanderson goes east-west. 5 seconds on the 5 seconds on the shot clock, rather. 3, they can't get a good shot. Can't get any shot, I should say, as the horn sounds. So it'll be Onondaga ball with 2 seconds left in the penalty. Fresh 30 for Onondaga in their own end, as the Red Hawks will just bring it up. Here's number 13. That's Brian Bucktooth. Bucktooth gives it to Simpson. Simpson right up to the team captain. That's Bucktooth as well. Long shot right off the crossbar into the rafters. So it'll stay Onondaga ball, as that shot whistled right by Cote, but it couldn't beat the top bar. Big battle in front from Thompson and a defender from Nova Scotia. Thompson trying to find his spot. It's like a basketball game, trying to pick your spot in the key, but he's trying to get a spot in the slot. As we will get an official's timeout to get a floor wipe as well as a goaltender water break. With 12 minutes and 33 seconds remaining here in the second period, the score is 6-1 in favor of the Onondaga Redhawks, who are the defending champions here at the President's Cup. Another national championship will be starting in just a few days, and of course that's the Mann Cup between Peterborough and Victoria out in BC. The Six Nations Chiefs fell at home a couple of nights ago on Monday night in Game 7 of that Major Series Lacrosse Game 7 championship, with Peterborough Lakers, Matt Vink and his team taking home that Ontario championship, so they will play for the Mann Cup in Victoria. Neat thing to see was with our JVI crew out at the ILA, we had a picture on Twitter with Victoria watching the game, watching our coverage from their locker room, seeing who they were going to play. And of course, Peterborough won that game, so Victoria will play Peterborough for the Mann Cup in Major Series Lacrosse. As we get back underway here from the Jack, Dominic Pesic will start with it in their own end. Pesic comes to the near side. He gets it back, goes to the far side corner. Sanderson tried to catch the pass up front, but he couldn't make it. Ian McShane now gets a pick, uses the roll, couldn't get it. Bad offensive set there from Nova Scotia, as they got a couple of movement opportunities, but they couldn't use them, and the passes were just a little bit sloppy. Here comes Onondaga now trying to extend their lead to a 6-goal lead and make it 7-1. Ball's on the near side, low corner. Up top, Onondaga likes to shoot from spots like that, but they have a wide open man. That's number 76, Lee Nanticoke. But Matt Cote slides down and covers up the 5-hole. Nanticoke flying ton of pressure here to number 14 on Nova Scotia, who is Matt Dunbar, Dunbar's brother. Dunbar and Dunbar, of course. Team captain Jamie Dunbar, number 14 Matt Dunbar. Jamie Dunbar couldn't pick it up as number 13 for Onondaga picks it up. That's Brian Bucktooth. Bucktooth goes to the near side. He's got Cameron Simpson. Bucktooth up top now has it. He goes to the far side. Cameron Simpson, number 5, comes up. Simpson uses the pick. Long shot opportunity off the leg and stays out. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Onondaga. Last chance to shoot. They shoot it, but it's right into the logo of the Nova Scotia Privateer netminder. This is Matt Cote's first start for Nova Scotia. Although we've seen action in all 3 games, Nova Scotia has started number 1, Mitch Hannigan, both games on Monday and Tuesday. But today they turn to number 31, Matt Cote. Long shot coming from the Privateers. It's off the leg pad of the Onondaga netminder, rolled into the corner, and Onondaga can't pick it up, so Nova Scotia gets another try. Here's Onondaga now as they look up the floor, tried to get a stretch breakaway, but they couldn't do it, so they hold on. 74 Thompson, the face-off specialist, gets it back on a give and go. He just gives it up to number 22 for the Red Hawks, who's Thompson as well. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Balls to Thompson. Far side, the shot. Matt Cote made what looked like a blocker save in hockey. He tried to punch it with his hand. But to each his own. However you make the save, as long as you make it as a goaltender. As we play on with 9:40 to go here in the second period. Here's Bobby Green. Bobby Green for Nova Scotia, number 16. Oh, beautiful effort by Ian McShane to cut to the middle. But he couldn't connect. 23 White. That's Hunter Hemlock. Hemlock, he's had two tonight, looking for another one as he hobbles off the floor. So I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll keep an eye on Hunter Hemlock, 23, as he goes off and looks at his foot. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Good defensive pressure from Nova Scotia. The shot coming right at the stomach. Cote couldn't pick it up, but he goes behind his net and smacks his stick right down on that ball to cover it up. 9 minutes to go in the second. Nova Scotia looking for another goal. They've only got one today. They'd like to get another one. That's Ian McShane now. Fossen, who wears 86, setting a nice pick. Dunbar, the long shot, scores! What a shot from Jamie Dunbar off the pick set by number 86, Bradley Fossen. And Nova Scotia is not going away yet. It's 6-2. They keep clawing back.
13, 29, 18.
So a goal to make it a 6-2 game. It's Jamie Dunbar getting credit. An outside bouncer. And the captain does what he does best, shoot that ball. But I like how Bradley Fossen, 86, as he set the pick for Dunbar, and Dunbar did the right thing and come right around the shoulder of the defender and use that seal correctly. So a great seal movement and a great play from Jamie Dunbar and Bradley Fossen. Together they got their second goal of the game and made it a 6-2 ball game. Here they come again. It's Dominic Pesek. Long shot, turned aside easily by Bucktooth. Pesek trying to battle it. He's being covered. Low corner shot and he scores! 6-3. Just like that, they get another one. And Nova Scotia really trying to get right back in this game. It's perfect play. 6-3 your score with 8:10 to go.
32-29.
So the goal gets credited to Ian McShane as he came right around the crease. Watch him beat his man. Ian McShane down low, right there, right around the crease, puts it far side on Bucktooth, and it's 6-3, as the board still says 6-1. But the timekeepers will get there soon enough. 8 minutes to go in our second period action, and now it says 6-3, so it's official. Bucktooth bounces it all the way far side and gets it back. Brett Bucktooth goes far side for Onondaga, wants the long shot, scores. Brett Bucktooth, what a rip from the top of the blue circles. Gotta be 40 feet, 40, 50 feet away. Makes it a 7-3 game once again, a 4-goal lead for Onondaga.
66-22.
Watch the snap of the wrist from Brett Bucktooth. Top of your screen, here he is. Wants the shot. Boom, just a quick, powerful release. And it beats Matt Cote in the top corner. A tough shot for any goalie to stop. Never mind stop, let alone see. So 7:38 to go here in the second period. 7-3 your score. They're trying another outside shot, but they want to pull it in. 8 seconds left in the shot. Another outside shot. Tried the same spot, but Cote read that coming. 7:20 to go now. Cote and company trying to get right back in this game. They've got 2 of the last 3 goals as Tickmarsh just bounces it to their own side, and that's Ian McShane. Sanderson goes back down. Pesek. McShane! Oh, he tried. 5 on the shot clock. Long shot from Fossen, scores! I don't know what Ross Bucktooth was doing in net, but he lifted his stick, tried to catch it. It looked like it was going high, but instead it goes right under the stick 5-hole. 7-4 your score.
Okay. 32-86.
So both teams are trading long bombs right now. As we take another look at this one, watch the goaltender. That's a low roller, and he lifts his stick up, opening the 5-hole to make it a 7-4 game. So Onondaga can't fall asleep yet. They got to keep their foot on the gas pedal if they want to win this ball game. As Onondaga and Nova Scotia have been trading goals from outside. 7-4 your score. Onondaga looking to capitalize and recover. Here's Cameron Simpson as he jumps over the crease but lands in it as his back foot touched the line. 6:30 to go. Here comes Nova Scotia once again, who's got a little light now as they can see the light at the end of the tunnel as they put 3 of the last 4 in now. There's another one. Ian McShane, goal after goal coming as Onondaga might want to think about pulling the netminder and try something else, but Ross Bucktooth has not made too many saves here in the second period.
32-16-86.
So the assists are going to Nova Scotia's number 16, that's Bobby Green, as well as number 86, Bradley Fossen. And rather than call a timeout or pull the goaltender, Onondaga says play on. And we'll continue. Thompson gets called for a face-off violation, which is rare for him as he usually wins every single draw. McNeil pulls it all the way back out, but he's being bothered from Onondaga's number 15, who is Grant Bucktooth. Pesek gets hammered into the boards by Bucktooth, and it'll stay Nova Scotia ball as it's interference. What games we've had this morning. 2 games that we expected to be blowouts both have been tight. The first one featuring a 9-8 overtime thriller for our 3rd overtime game of the tournament. That was between Rocky View and Snake Island, with the Knights coming out on top to improve to 2-1. And this game, it's a 2-goal game, and we're 35 minutes in as that one almost squeaks in. Ross Bucktooth really looking like he's shaken up right now as that one almost squeaked in from pretty much no angle at all. 5:37 to go. Onondaga really needs to settle down and put some goals past Cote. Onondaga now, they send it east-west. They couldn't connect on that pass. That was number 11, Cree Cathers. Big stop. Long shot, not coming. There's the long shot, misses wide off the mark. That'll go all the way back to half as Brett Bucktooth will pull it out with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Good movement in the middle of the floor for Onondaga. They're opening it right up. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nova Scotia trying to scoop that ball out of there as Matt Cote will pull it all the way back into his crease. He'll pass it to the far side. Far side from the Nova Scotia bench, I should say. Near side for you at home. 4:45 to go in the second period. They come near side. It's number 13, Jamie Dunbar. He's had a few. Dunbar to Tickmarsh. Dunbar gets hit and slides all the way across the floor. He'll get up, pick it up with 5 on the shot clock. They need a shot. Shot goes right at the head of Bucktooth, as that might have been a tactic to get him in the head or get him high and try to keep him shaken up for the whole second period. But, as expected, referee calls for a towel to wipe up the sweat of Jamie Dunbar as he slid a good couple feet there once he got hit from Brett Bucktooth. So be sure to tweet us who you think the 3 stars of the game will be. Follow us on Twitter at JVI Video and tweet who the 3 stars should be. I was thinking it was going to be an all Onondaga 3-star selection, but in the past 20 minutes or so, we've seen nothing but Nova Scotia. So be sure to stay with us and tweet us who do you think the 3 stars will be. We'll get to those at the end of today's Nova Scotia and Onondaga games. 2 more games on tap for this afternoon. We'll see Nanaimo and Six Nations, followed by St. Catharines, taking on the Capital Region Axemen. All that and more coming up on the JVI Sports Network later on today. We're 4 minutes and 25 seconds away from the end of the second period here at the Jacks, where the teams will go off and recoup and try to get back for a third period. But for now, we'll play out that 4 minutes and 25 seconds, starting with a Nova Scotia ball. Dominic Pesic on the far side. He comes up top. Pesic waiting for an open man. He sees Bobby Green. Green just comes down low off the pick. Ooh, good shot. As that one just misses wide. 4:05 to go in the second period. A big hit from Nova Scotia ends that offensive set for Onondaga. 3:55. Lots of time still. There's Nova Scotia going to the far side. He's being double teamed, but he pulls out and gives it up top. Nice play, Nova Scotia. Oh, Bucktooth! Bucktooth really tried to re-get his game going, but that one, he makes the original save and almost puts it in his own net. So I'm sure he's waiting for the end of the second period to get out of this period. With 20 on the shot clock comes Onondaga. Onondaga, good pressure from Jamie Dunbar. Shot couldn't come as he couldn't connect on the pass. That was Nanticoke. Loose ball, that was Hunter Hemlock, 23. He gets it out to Brett Bucktooth on a full 30-second clock. Bucktooth comes near side. Hunter Hemlock down low. That was Cameron. Cameron, good catch on that pass as he goes behind the net. He'll run right around with 10 on the shot clock. Tries to come out front of the crease. Cameron now. Shot scores! He beats Matt Cote 5-hole. Interesting play for Onondaga to wait the 30-second clock out. That was Cameron Simpson, number 5.
5:23:66. Can I get a ball, JB? JB.
So we'll take a look at the no goal at the other end before this one. So he takes the first shot, makes the save, and then it looks like he almost put it in. And then as we go the other way, watch Cameron Simpson here. He's behind the net, and all he does is run around the front and just put it 5-hole on Matt Cote. He didn't see the shot coming. So as we get right back into the action with 2:45 to go, it's 8-5 your score rather, as they've yet to start the clock. So we're having some clock difficulties for sure here at the Jack Gaycliff Arena as fans are finally starting to scream start the clock. So we have 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining as they will fix the clock on the scoreboard later. Well, we hope we will fix the clock on the scoreboard later so we can get the correct time on the board. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Shot turned aside by Bucktooth. That's his first great save in quite some time, as it might be a turning point for the Red Hawks. Ball gets thrown back all the way to number 76, Lee Nanticoke, who just gives it up to the goal scorer. That's Cameron Simpson. Simpson, he dishes it off. Ball's up top to Brett Bucktooth. Bucktooth, good pass and a great shot coming, but a better save. Onondaga is now, that's number 22. That's Thompson. Thompson, back to Cameron Simpson. Simpson on the near side. Back up to Bucktooth. Bucktooth goes the far side. That's Thompson. Thompson tries to wind and fire, but he doesn't. Now he tries to. Good pass down low to Simpson. Simpson a shot. Oh, he almost beat Cote 5-hole again, but he covers up. We have 1:10 left here in this second period. The board says 1:35, so if we don't get another dead ball, they might not fix the clock, and we'll play 1:30. Here's Jamie Dunbar, team captain, coming down the near side. He's being bothered and pressured by Adam Yee. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ball is on the far left. They go right to the middle. Yee doing a great pressure on Jamie Dunbar. Dunbar cuts the middle as Bill O'Brien, comes in. So there's 1:07. They're not going to fix the clock. 1:07 left here in this second period. As public address announcer informs the crowd, under a minute to go in the second period. 8-5 your score here on the JVI Sports Network. Spencer Tangway with you. Matthew Carrick will be here shortly to call the 5 o'clock and 8 p.m. game with me. 8 p.m., of course, prime time. It'll be the Saints taking on the Axemen. in the final round robin game as that ball goes long off the back wall and flies right over the bench in the crowd. 38.1 to go. Nova Scotia waiting for their full five to come out. I would imagine they will pull Cote and go for a sixth guy, but we'll take an eye on that. 20 seconds left on the clock. Long shot, as I'm sure they just tried to get a reset, but that almost hits a fan right below me with 18.9. Timeout coming as Onondaga will take a timeout, settle the troops, and they may even pull goaltender Bucktooth and go with a sixth guy, but they don't really need to as they're up 8-5. But only time will tell as teams will take a break. Follow us on Twitter at JVI Video and at Prez Cup Lax 2015 for all the latest up-to-date score, stats, and information on this year's tournament. Use the hashtag JVI when tweeting and hashtag President's Cup. Like us on Facebook too. Be sure to get on social media websites and go to facebook.com/JVI Video. Follow us on social media and keep up to date with the 2015 President's Cup and many more tournaments, such as the Mann Cup, which begins in just a couple of days in Victoria, BC. So as we take a look at this big group of guys, the Victoria Shamrocks, they were watching the huge game between Peterborough and Six Nations, and they found out that Peterborough will be the tournament champions in Ontario, so it'll be Lakers and Shamrocks for the Mann Cup. That best-of-7 series will start, I believe, tomorrow. Friday, actually. It's Friday, I'm being told. So Friday, that'll get underway as Nova Scotia tries the long shot, just misses left. 2 seconds on the clock. They try, but the horn sounds. They thought they had time. 8-5 score at the end of 40 minutes of play. A great game. Started off all Onondaga, but Nova Scotia battling back to keep it a respectable 8-5 score after 40 minutes. Teams will head off for 10 minutes, and we will be back with the third period action right here from the Jack. Teams will go off, we'll go away. Be back in 10 minutes for the third period coverage on the JVI Sports Network. Come back on for their third period action here between Nova Scotia and Onondaga. Be sure to tweet us who you think will be the 3 stars of today's game. It was going to be all Onondaga, I thought, but just like Nova Scotia does always in the second period, they came back. So be sure to tweet us at JVI Video and tweet us your 3 stars. Take a look at today's updated standings, as it's going to be interesting now as we head down the stretch in the Rex Dimers division. Rocky View played earlier. They beat Snake Island in overtime. But Six Nations and Nanaimo, they'll play later on today. So if Six Nations can pull out a victory, they'll claim that first spot. But if they lose, that could be trouble for the Rivermen, as they will drop to 1-2. So, as Nova Scotia, like I said, always does in that second period, they come back and they like to score, and they like to score in bunches. We'll take a look at a couple goals from Nova Scotia in that second period, as Nova Scotia always likes to score in bunches, like I said. So look for Nova Scotia in the third period. Watch here as Nova Scotia came all the way down from their own end. They set up on offense quickly, and they just take a nice quick release. So, as we go back into the third period, I expect more of Nova Scotia to come out flying out of the gate as they need to win. Nova Scotia, who currently sits in last position in the Jack Gatecliff division, as they already lost to St. Catharines in day one. They lost last night. They need to win today if they don't want to go 0-3. So we'll find out what happens as we're set for third period action. We're underway, but for some reason the clock has stopped. 19:58 to go. We have already time going, but they did not start the clock off the opening draw. This has been a problem all week here at the Jack. If I could yell down at them, I would, or I would just run down there and hit the start-stop button. 19:58 to go, it says, as the shot rings off the head of Cote. So here comes Onondaga once again, looking for another. Onondaga On the near side, they go far side. That's Brett Bucktooth, 66. A shot. Ooh, big stop from Matt Cote. This time I hope they do fix the clock as they finally got it going. As it says 1948, but as you see at home, 1910 is the correct time. And here comes Nova Scotia 50 seconds in this third period, and we will stop as Matt Cote is having some equipment issues. And we will just continue like nothing happened with the clock. 19:38 to go. This is about a minute more they've added to this game now because of clock issues. As Nova Scotia whistles a shot wide, that was Dominic Pesic. Onondaga couldn't connect on the long pass as it'll go all the way back into the crease of Matt Cote. Here comes the Privateers. Nova Scotia on the near side, that's Bradley Fawson. Fawson has it. He gives it to Dominic Pesic, who winds and fires, but it's blocked by a defender, doesn't even reach Bucktooth. Long stretch pass for Thompson. Thompson, who is the team leading and probably league leading for sure if you added all the leagues together in face-off percentage, has the ball in the far corner. He gives it to Hunter Hemlock on the bounce pass. Hemlock, he's got two from that position. He shoots another one, but that one goes high and wide. Here comes Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia, who trails by 3, a minute and a half into this third period, will go off and get a full change as Jamie Dunbar, who plays offense, defense, and he takes the draws. He's also on the power play, sometimes on the penalty kill. He's a player who does it all for Nova Scotia, and he wants to put another one past the goaltender, Bucktooth. 5 on the shot clock. Nova Scotia needs a shot. Players on his wrong side of the floor. Gets hammered in, but they get the ball to Ian McShane, who gets a shot, and Nova Scotia will pull it out. But they're called for a towel wipe, so it's actually not an infraction, just a towel wipe with 18:11 to go in the third period. Well, actually, it's probably more like 17:35 to go, but we will stay at 18:11. As we up in the booth joke about how bad the clock has been here for a national championship. And considering both timekeepers in the box are veteran officials doing the clock today, that's Jeremy Bailey and John Zabo. So we'll figure out what goes on with the clock, and hopefully they can figure it out as you see Matt Cote walk by him and the fan pointing right at the timekeepers, trying to keep them awake down there. We'll just finish up wiping the floor here, and we'll get you back to lacrosse action in game number 2 of day number 3 here at the Jack, the host of the 2015 President's Cup, which has been an exciting tournament so far. We've seen a couple blowout games which have been expected. You'll see those at any tournament, but 3 overtime games, and we're only 3 days in. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Here comes Nova Scotia. Onondaga, a very bad play, goes all the way down as Matt Cote went to go catch the ball, but that almost went right in. Very exciting, but almost unlucky moment for Matt Cote. 15 on the shot clock. McShane, I believe that is, down low. He's getting muscled up there by Bill O'Brien. O'Brien is going to be called for a penalty from the back official, Craig Baldridge, and it's going to be a slash. Andrew Ecclestone having a talk with O'Brien, and O'Brien doesn't know why he's calling it. Nevertheless, though, 17:32 is the call. Slashing is going to be the call, and we'll take a look. See if you see the slash. I see a little interference, and there it is right there. There's a slash. He was on the ground, and he gave McShane a slash, and just 20 seconds later, we get another towel wipe. So as mentioned, this is a problem the Jack Gatecliff floor has, but it's a problem that cannot be fixed. It's not the floor actually sweating, it's just the player's sweat gets on the floor and it makes the floor extremely slippery. Unlike at many arenas that have turf, like the ILA, home of the Six Nations Chiefs. However, the Rivermen play at the Gaylord Powless Arena, which is floor, similar style floor to this. So I guess they're used to it. Saints, this is their home arena. Good crowd on hand for this afternoon's contest. The Nanaimo players and Six Nations are in the crowd as they look on. They'll be playing at 5 o'clock today here on our JVI Sports Network. Game 3 of 4 today. Here's Pesic, a shot. Fakes the shot. Oh, big stop. That's a huge stop. He had a rough second period, but he's back in it with a huge stop right into the stick of Ross Bucktooth. 15 seconds on the shot clock. They're killing a penalty, so there should not be a shot clock going, actually. So they actually have a full 30. No shot clock. As I believe the siren will sound here, even though it should be stopped. And yes, it will. So the officials in the box are really having a tough time paying attention to the game, it seems. 16:33 as the refs will pay attention and reload and give everybody in the crowd and at home a little knowledge of what's going on here as the timekeepers are just screwing up. Still 40 seconds on the penalty as Matt Cote slides across to make a save. 30 seconds remaining on the minor to Bill O'Brien. 15:55 on the game clock. Nova Scotia trying to get back in it. They've come back into the tournament. Had an impressive outing yesterday afternoon. Would love to win this one and pull it out for their province, as it's a huge milestone just for Nova Scotia to be in the tournament. And I believe a penalty is coming, and it is going against Onondaga, who is currently up in this game 8-5. And with Onondaga winning this afternoon, they would improve to 2-1, which would be a mess in the Jack Gatecliff division standings. But if they lose and go 1-2, that would also cause a little bit of a mix-up, because then Nova Scotia would be 1-2. St. Catharines, if they win tonight, would be 3-0 over Capital Region, who is 1-1 as well. So a lot of teams at 1-1. One team is 2-0 and one team is 0-2. So we'll find out what the standings will look like after this game and the St. Catharines game tonight have been played. So no shot clock as Onondaga gets to kill another minute and 23 of this penalty. The ball's on the near side. Here's Onondaga. Onondaga just doing a great job of settling down this four-man offense and pulling everybody out so they can kill the penalty. Ball's in the middle now. Might shoot it, but he doesn't. That's Hunter Hemlock, 23. Hemlock just tries to get it to the middle, but it tips off a Nova Scotia player, and here comes the Privateers. Privateers on a 2-on-1. They'll pull it out and get a full power play unit out with 14:25 to go. Dominic Pesic, he's up top on the power play, trying to find a man to pass to. He goes to Jamie Dunbar. Dunbar gets it back up top. The shot just goes wide. Loose ball battle right out front of the dotted line. No one can pick it up. It's picked up by number 24 for Onondaga, who is Dave Stout. Stretch pass down the near side. It's Onondaga now. Onondaga will pull it out once again if they can keep it over the attack line, and they do. Here's Onondaga now once again. Only 8 seconds left on this penalty. We'll wait and play 5-on-5 as Thompson has it on the near wall. Right out of the box is Thompson, the face-off specialist. They go, what a save from a little help from the post. Cote may have got a piece of it. As the referees are calling for too many men on Nova Scotia, as you look, there's about 7 or 8 Privateers on the floor, and they question what is going on with their bench. So they'll put 5 more out, and they'll regroup. Here comes Hunter Hemlock. Hemlock goes down the far side. Uses the little dish. Tried to get it to Cameron Simpson. As the Privateers will pick up the loose ball in the corner and go all the way down the floor, as Bucktooth will have to come out and get his body in front of it to allow for Onondaga to come back the other way near side. Onondaga up over the blue line, and they are trying to get it through the middle, and both refs have a penalty. I'm not sure if they're the same ones, and I don't think they are. So it could be a 5-on-3 opportunity for Onondaga, unless both officials have the same call, but Andrew Ecclestone's arm went up after Craig Baldridge. A few seconds after, actually. So we'll find out as the official gives the timekeepers the penalties. So the penalties are going to happen right in the middle of the dotted line. Here's the original call for high stick, I believe, and they might get a hold right there as you see Andrew Ecclestone's arm go up. So I see a 2 on the board. So 12:41 to go as we'll figure out all the penalties, and I believe it's just 2 minutes on the board. As mentioned, it's a hot day here in St. Catharines. Weather's been pretty good, but as we check the radar, a huge thunderstorm may be coming right at us here at the Jack. So if we have any internet connection problems, that will be why. We'll try to avoid that as much as possible, but we can only do so much. We can't fight Mother Nature. So we'll try to avoid the thunderstorm, hopefully. But it looks like we may be getting hit in the next few hours, which will be in the Six Nations and Nanaimo game. Right now, though, it's 12:35 to go. 8-5 your score in favor of the Onondaga Redhawks, who are your defending champions. Here comes Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia on a 2-on-2. They try to go to the middle. Ian McShane jumped, couldn't make the catch, but he grabs it off the back wall. And they will kill it as they have a 2-minute minor on the board. Ian McShane cuts to the middle, but he loses it as a great stick check from Adam Yee gives the ball right back to the Onondaga Redhawks. Here comes Onondaga. They're on the far side. A bounce past the team captain, Brett Bucktooth. Bucktooth goes to Hunter Hemlock. Hemlock up top. That's Thompson. Thompson gets it back as they're playing catch. The shot just goes wide, picked up, and he scores. Onondaga puts it home. That's Neil Powless, number 16, off the back wall, which was an attempted shot.
76-23.
As the official gave the goal to number 76, but I believe, as we'll take another look at it, the goal was actually scored by Neil Powless, number 16, on the right-hand crease. So look at the crease on the right side, off the back wall, picked up. And if you got a quick look, it was 16 who scored, Neil Powless. So we'll wait for the official call from public address announcer Rod Mahood, who will tell us who gets credit. Here's Bill O'Brien, number 96 in white and red. Flips it up to number 11, Creek Hathers. Onondaga going to work on the offensive side again. That's Brett Bucktooth goes far side. Here's the goal announcement. And a good save by Cote, and they did give that goal to Lee Nanticoke. So we'll see if that changes on the score sheet later as they take another look at that one. Or if Onondaga's bench says no, that was actually 16. 15 seconds on the shot clock. It's Nova Scotia's ball right in front of their bench on the far side. Ian McShane uses his body to control that ball as he takes a long shot. That one right off the leg of Onondaga's number 14, Luke Thompson. Thompson gets his back as he's trying to run off the floor. Maybe put some ice on that leg. As the Redhawks set up on offense. Their offense has been pretty much red hot all tournament long, except for their slip up against the St. Catharines Saints, where they were down 6-0. But battled back and made it somewhat of a game. They lost 13-7 last night in prime time right here on JVI. 10 minutes and 30 seconds still remain in this third period. Here's Brandon Sanderson. Sanderson, a flip pass to the side to Tickmarsh. Tickmarsh looks to the middle, but a good defensive pressure from Onondaga doesn't allow that pass to go through. 25 seconds on the shot clock. They're already in deep in Nova Scotia's end. That's Thompson. He pulls it right out. Neil Paulus wants it, but all alone is number 76, Lee Nanticoke, going hard to the net. As Onondaga needs to get back on defense, as Nova Scotia is already coming hard the other way. Bill O'Brien picks up the high loose ball. He gives it up to Thompson. Thompson has Thompson on the other side. He decides to give it all the way back to Neil Paulus. Paulus, number 16 up top. He finds an open man, and that was Thompson in the middle, but he tips it over the net as Matt Cote comes out to get his stick on it. Nova Scotia would like to get one here and get that 3-goal lead back. But currently the score 9-5 in favor of the white and red Onondaga Redhawks, as Adam Yee has a breakaway and he scores. Adam Yee makes no mistake. And it is 9:12 to go in the third period. 10-5 your score. So Onondaga doubled up now on the Nova Scotia Privateers.
6-13.
So the lone assist on the goals is going to number 13. That's Brian Bucktooth. As you watch the clear breakaway from Adam Yee. Scored at the hips of Matt Cote. So the referee blows a interference call, and it's coming against Nova Scotia. That was number 97 for the Privateers. That's KJ McNeil, who hit the Onondaga player into the boards. The possession is definitely going towards Onondaga in this third period. Good save by Cote. No one knows where it really is. It's in Cote's right glove as the ball pops out with 8:56 remaining. .8:45 to go. Ball shot. Didn't get a reset as it did not hit the leg. Here's Thompson. He's being pressured by the Nova Scotia defender. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Onondaga just trying to kill this 30 seconds as well as get a good shot and a scoring chance, and there's a goal. The goal coming, Lee Nanticoke, number 76, with 6 or 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock, fires one 5-hole, and he beats
76, 16, 22.
In the 5-hole to make it an 11-5 lead as we take another look while the goalies go get some water. The goal comes right at the top of the dotted lines with Lee Nanticoke. Had a Nova Scotia player, number 44, I believe it was, for the Privateers, who is Joe Williams. So as Nanticoke scores, maybe he's one of your 3 stars. Be sure to tweet us who you think the 3 stars are at JVI Video. Tweet out the 3 stars, and we'll be sure to get to those right at the end of today's game. 11-5 your score right here at the Jack, as we will head back to floor level and get ready for another face-off between Thompson and Dunbar. Thompson has won basically all the face-offs today, as he's taken every single one so far, I believe, for Onondaga. So it's nice to see Nova Scotia come back in this tournament, add another team to the President's Cup, and it's great to see all the fan support they brought here, cheering them on even though they're down by 6 and they've had a couple losses in the tournament. So it's good to see a great support in Nova Scotia lacrosse as they take a long outside shot from Sanderson. The goaltender makes a big save. Speaking of goaltenders, Mitch Hannigan, who wears number 1 for Nova Scotia, looks like he's getting ready to make an entrance as it's 11-5 with 7 minutes remaining, so we might see Mitch Hannigan enter the game. The ball goes east-west, far side. Here's Dominic Pesic, a good pick. Uses the pick, goes far side, and he scores. They're going to give it to him. Onondaga may have thought he stepped in the crease as we get a towel wipe on the goal as Pesic went flying across and sliding on the floor. And yes, here it is, the goaltender switch for Nova Scotia as the team celebrates their 6th goal. Here it is, Dominic Pesic, a good up pick coming here from Brandon Sanderson. He uses it, goes right around. Excuse me, that was Ian McShane who set that up pick. Right around the Onondaga defense to score. And in goal now, Mitch Hannigan, who started both games in the tournament so far, the one on Monday and Tuesday. And now he's in the game to finish the 7 minutes and 17 seconds. It's 11-6. So it's another draw, and it's Dunbar going against Thompson. As we wait for the towel to get off the floor. And it's Thompson's face-off win. Thompson sends it down low to Neil Powless. Powless has it, he goes up top. That's Bucktooth. Bucktooth gave it down low to the far side. He sets a pick. Nanticoke trying to find Powless again, and they score. First shot on Hannigan beats him over the right shoulder as he just shrugs his shoulders and tries to get that out of his system. What an offensive play there by Onondaga to notice the goaltender switch and try to pull one past him right away, and they do. Watch the up pick here. A nice pick coming. He uses it and he finds the open man. And that was Brett Bucktooth, team captain, who buried up and over the shoulder to make it a 12-6 game. So 6:45, teams are starting to make their way in for game number 3 today, which will feature Nanaimo Timbermen against Six Nations Rivermen. And then at 8 o'clock, it's the St. Catharines Saints hosting the Capital Region Axemen. All that and more right here on the JVI Sports Network. And just a reminder that it is hot, which could be causing a thunderstorm right outside the Jack. So if we lose any internet connection or have any interruptions, that will be wide. We'll try to get back as shortly as possible. But hopefully we don't experience any of that as we continue to play lacrosse all day and all throughout the week here in St. Catharines. A shot, good save by Hannigan. The stretch pass just goes long off the dasher board, the top board, and bounces all the way down. Interesting bounce off that sideboard. As Onondaga slowly walks and allows Hunter Hemlock and Bucktooth to enter. Ball's on the far side. Into the middle they try, but a good defensive collapse by Nova Scotia. Here's Thompson. Thompson tries to go one-on-one. He's got number 7 for Nova Scotia. Right on him, that's Abramson. And they score as Mitch Hannigan fell to the ground. They'll make another one and add a 13th goal to make it a 13-6 lead with only 5 minutes remaining here in this one.
76-22-19.
So the assist for that goal for Onondaga go to 22 Thompson and number 19 Powless. As we take another look as Hannigan got lost at it almost and he slipped and fell as they score 5-hole on Hannigan. As here they come the other way. Andrew McNeil tried and a big stop. Bucktooth made the save and they on the rebound. I believe that was Damie Dunbar that got sent flying to the floor as he heads off with only 5 minutes and 12 seconds to play here in the third period. Here's Neil Powless, number 16, the lefty. Powless comes in. He's being triple teamed as they try to find that loose ball. Batted out of the air by Powless. Coming out with it is Nova Scotia, and he'll just pull it back in. That's number 2 for Nova Scotia. That's Kyle Peace. A penalty coming. Hannigan goes to the bench. It'll be 6-on-5 for however long Nova Scotia holds on to the ball. They only have 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Pesic has it. Nova Scotia, of course, with the 6th man coming in for Hannigan. Pesic back up top. Here's Brandon Sanderson. Sanderson tried to flip it in the middle, but it's picked off by O'Brien, and the penalty is coming against Onondaga. As the official Craig Baldridge reports it to the timekeepers, we'll figure out what the penalty is. So with 4:26 to go, it's going to be Thompson, number 22, heading off for Onondaga, a slashing minor. And we'll get another look at the Nova Scotia power play. Sanderson down low to Pesic. Pesic gets it back. Excuse me, that's Sanderson. Sanderson gets it back, and he has it now. Sanderson goes to the crease, not there, as it soars right through the blue paint and goes to the back wall. Picked up by Pesic. Sanderson, number 18, a fake behind the back attempt. Looks to the crease again, and they get it. Sanderson from Pesic, Pesic from Sanderson, and they connect for their 7th goal of the game. And they take it right up a notch on the power play, and they bring themselves within a 6th goal margin with only 4 to play. Nova Scotia not going away. Come all this way, they want to score, and they want to make sure Nova Scotia lacrosse gets remembered as one of the teams to be reckoned with. So take a look right on the crease. Dominic Pesic gets wide open as they forget about the back door, and he just quickly puts it home as the Onondaga defense collapses a little too late. So with only 4 minutes remaining, we'll see another draw between Thompson and Dunbar. Dunbar trying to find a big win here and maybe get a quick goal right off the draw. Thompson likes to do the same thing as well, so it's a good battle at the dot. This one straight back into the stick of Thompson, and he gives it right back to Brett Bucktooth. Bucktooth gives it to Thompson. Thompson, a bounce pass to Neil Paulus. Paulus came off the bench, and now he gives it down low and cuts through the middle. 15 on the shot clock. It's Thompson. Thompson to the far side. That's Nanticoke. Nanticoke, he still has it. He's looking for the shot. No, he gives it to Thompson, who was cutting through the crease. And he gets called for going through the crease like he did with 3:34. Here come the Privateers. They go to their bench side on a bounce pass. Ooh, a high stick miss there by the official, but they let him play on, which is probably a good game decision as it's 13-7 as Ian McShane brings it up the near side. What a save by Ross Bucktooth. Bucktooth still trying to get up, though he might be hurt. And he is hurt. As he slid across, I believe it might be his leg, as we'll see our first goalie injury of the tournament. As Bucktooth went to slide across and make the save, his leg, it looked like buckled or didn't make it, or it looked like it went behind him as he slid across, so I don't know if it bent back the wrong way. We'll take another look. Watch the netminder slide right here. His leg, it looked like it got either caught on the post or it bent back the wrong way. So hopefully he's all right, or else we might see a goalie change for Onondaga to play the last 3 minutes and 9 seconds, and we'll see Edmund Cathers come in. So team medical staff will assist Bucktooth. So a reminder, we have 2 more games today on JVI Sports Network coverage of the 2015 President's Cup. So we'll just wait and see what is happening with Bucktooth as he gets helped up. Always good to see anybody get up from an injury. Hopefully he'll get up on his own. As team officials and team players are trying to just stay cool here on this very hot day at the Jack. Good to see they're giving him water. We'll show you what happened once again as they go for the actual cross-crease play. They get the shot off. Bucktooth made the save, but on that play in doing so, I believe his left leg is the problem. Because when he slid across, his left leg went hard into that post and it bent towards the net as his body went towards the player. So we'll see if he can stand up. I don't think he'll finish this game, but we will see as he's helped to his feet by his teammates. And we get one more look at it. Fans are applauding, and no, he is going to go right off. So we'll look to the backup goaltender, Edmund Cathers, to come in. finish off the job as he'll go off the floor and rest up as they have a big game tomorrow as they should win today's contest. 3:09 to go here in today's game. Cathers comes in to finish off this contest. It will be Nova Scotia ball. I'm not sure what the actual call is because it's just a dead ball with an injury. But it will remain Nova Scotia ball, and I believe because it's an injury on the opposing team, that it will be a full reset for Nova Scotia. So here's Brandon Sanderson. Sanderson goes to the far side. Ball back up top. The shot from Dunbar. Trying to test Cathers early as it's his first shot. As here comes Hannigan right back on the net. That's going to go in. Yes! That's an own goal for Nova Scotia. One of those fluke incidents. And I believe the last person to touch that ball is the goaltender.
Number 1.
And they do give it to the goaltender. So as you watch and see how unfortunate that is, it's a great moment for the goaltender because he was the last player to touch it. Nova Scotia shoots it off the back wall and it goes in. That's Edmund Cathers' goal. And that's a pretty good way to start as a backup goaltender coming in. He puts his team up by 7 now and takes a 14-7 lead. So Cathers gets the goal as the crowd on their feet for him as they will start the offense once again. Onondaga on the far side. Shot clock at 27. They come to the near side. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. And now here comes Nova Scotia back the other way. Nova Scotia ball up top with 1:50 remaining on the clock. Ball's on the near side. 10 on the shot clock. Nova Scotia needs a shot. Ball battle in the far side. It's picked up by Onondaga. Here comes Onondaga on a clear breakaway with 1:20 to go. The shot right into the stick of Hannigan. He covers up, and he'll just catch it and pull it out and get a breakout going for Nova Scotia as there's 1:10 remaining in this game. 14-7 the score for Onondaga. Last goal came from the goaltender of Onondaga as Nova Scotia buries to make it a 14-8 game with 1:01 on the clock as it's an outside blast that went right between the legs of Cathers to score and give Nova Scotia a little bit of momentum as they head down the stretch with only a minute to play.
18 from 6.
18 from 6.
26, White, 2 interference.
So the penalty on the delayed penalty was for 26 on Onondaga, but that is wiped out by the goal. So public address announcer announces last minute of the play in the third period. The score 14-8 here at the Jack. 3-star selections will be announced shortly, as well as the player of the game from the Canadian Lacrosse Association Committee. We'll have all that and a couple more games on the JVI Sports Network as Paulus tried to score one more and make it a 15-8 game, but Hannigan said no way. Hannigan now with the ball, being pressured by Lee Nentikoke, but he just gives him a little love tap and goes the other way. Here's Sanderson. Excuse me, that's McShane. McShane, the righty, trying to find that ball. As it's in the corner. And now it's Nova Scotia ball with 17 seconds left. Tickmarsh finds some open space. 10 seconds, trying to get a last-minute shot is Sanderson. Sanderson winds and fires, just turns wide and almost hits referee Andrew Ecclestone in the head, but it's a long breakaway. The horn will sound. The shot just goes wide. That will do it for the end of game number 2 here on day number 3. Onondaga successful in getting the victory over Nova Scotia. The final score 14-8 as Nova Scotia drops their last game in round robin play to go 0-3 in the tournament and will play in the placement game tomorrow afternoon. Game time is 2 o'clock for them. And we will have your 3 stars momentarily as Onondaga improves to 2-1. And they will wait and see what happens tonight between St. Catharines and Capital Region as we now take you to today's 3-star selection. Today's 3rd star, Hunter Hemlock, 23. What a player and what an offensive night he had. He had a couple blasts early in the first period, and he had a couple assists to back that up in their 14-goal decision over the Nova Scotia Privateers. And we take a look at our 2nd star tonight, and that's Jerome Thompson. Thompson, a big player for Onondaga. He wins a lot of draws, and let me tell you, he will win almost every single one of them. And he basically, I believe, only lost 1, but it was due to a face-off infraction. So Thompson, a face-off specialist and a goal scorer. And our 1st star today is going to Trevor Clark. A big night for Onondaga, and he was a part of it.